it's not about just $50,000. Let's say the property is $25,000. And I'm talking, in, different markets is different strokes for different folks. But let's just say you find a property for $25,000. You have to fix it up and it's another $25,000. You into it for $50,000, but it's worth $100,000. Mm-hmm. So technically speaking, you took that $10,000 and now you have $100,000. Does that make sense? Because the equity that you created from fixing it up, although you all in for $50,000, is worth $100,000.
Got it.
So that $10,000 can go very far if you invest it. So you take that money, the equity from it, and then you go buy more real estate. But you started with $10,000.
All right, cool. So we know who's in the room. We've got our resident real estate expert. You're our resident real estate expert.
I like that name, resident real estate. RRE.
You're the person that we go to on the Social Proof podcast for all things real estate because you have helped me build out my portfolio.
I'm extremely grateful for that title.
Can I give you my goal for 2023?
Yes, but I'm probably not going to approve it, but let's go.
Why wouldn't you?
Well, let me hear it.
Okay. My goal is to get to $20,000 a month passive.
Okay. It's cute. I mean, it's a start.
What do I have to do to get that? Because I would probably always do podcasting because I love it.
Yeah.
But if I didn't have to come up with no marketing plans and launch strategies and stuff like that, that would be, imagine $20,000 every single month. Passively,
mm-hmm.
You ain't got to build no brand.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got to create no products. You ain't got to sell nothing to nobody.
Right.
What does that take?
So, give you an idea.
I don't even know if I'm there yet.
Yeah. No, you're not there yet. But what I will say is this, the goal is going to be much bigger. So currently, if we get this portfolio that we're working on, a very large portfolio in New Orleans, 491 doors. On a monthly, it's going to bring in $500,000 a month once stabilized.
What?
Yeah. So net on that, that's gross, but net, we're looking at about $3 million net.
A year?
Yes.
Hold on. Okay. So if we get this
opportunity, which.
Tell me about the opportunity. Can you talk about the opportunity?
I can talk about it.
We won't air it until it comes out to you.
So what I will say is that, even if we do air it, I'll talk around it, right? It's an opportunity of a very large portfolio. I don't know if you remember, I went to New Orleans and I was at a property and the guy was like, I made him an offer to buy these doors from him. And he was like, yo, my wine costs more than your offer.
Dang.
Yeah, he was real cocky. It's like, dang. You got people living in the slums, sewage backing up into their houses. They living with mold. It's raining in their house. You talking about your wine is more than my offer. It's like, all right. So I used my social media platform. I had everybody tag the mayor in the city of New Orleans. Say, hey, y'all need to do something. We're in America. And eventually that entire portfolio got shut down.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you shut down somebody's portfolio?
When you have people living in condemned situations.
But he bought it. He still owns the properties.
Well, it's in bankruptcy now. So the city have power.
Is it in bankruptcy?
Yes. The city have a lot of power. And so, you have these people living, especially when you're getting vouchers, like subsidized money, you have to make sure that these people quality of life meets the federal standards. And if it don't, you're going to have some issues.
Hold on. I can buy, let's say, an apartment complex.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say there's 20 units in it. Yes. I can buy that.
Mm-hmm.
But if the apartment complex isn't super inhabitable or, it's not a safe environment,
mm-hmm.
I understand them saying, okay, you can't legally lease this out to anyone or rent it out to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But are you saying the city can take the property from the owner?
Yes, absolutely. They can condemn your building. They can condemn this building.
But you still own the building or own the
Well,
land.
the problem is when people allow properties to go, in that poor of a condition, they're usually having some type of financial problems or they're not allocating the finances correctly to that investment. So whenever the city come down on you, it's really bad. Right? Like it's, the city is like, you got X amount of time to do this or we're going to place a lien against your property. And once they place that lien, every day it's securing interest every day. And if they have to lift one hammer, let's just say a normal contractor costs $5,000 to go board a window. The city going to get somebody that's going to charge $15,000 to go board that window up. And then boom, they're going to tack that to the property. And every time they got to come cut your grass, boom, you can get somebody to cut your grass for $50. The city going to find somebody for $400.
Oh, wow.
Boom, they're going to tack that to the property. And so what happens is this cost start adding up so much, they like, yo, how can we fix it up and pay you and catch up on interest that you're charging me daily? It becomes too much. So they like, yo, they let their properties go. In this guy case.
So I'm sorry, before you go to that. So it's not that they're like just saying, okay, we take the property. It's just, it just mounts up so much of what you owe now that it doesn't make sense and you just let it go.
Yes, that is one way. But the second way is if you receive federal dollars from the government, they can force you to sell your property. Or they can remove all of the tenants out of the property that they pay for. Every person they give you a check for, they can take every last one of them out and put them somewhere else. So it's like different levels. But in this particular case, with this portfolio that we're working on, this guy received all type of insurance money and money from HUD to fix up these units because he claimed storm damage from the hurricanes.
Right. Well,
he never used any of that money in those properties from what we've seen. Maybe he put it somewhere we can't see. I don't know, but we can't see it visually. And so the city, once we tagged the mayor and everything like that, the story went viral. So then the city went out there. They say, oh my goodness, these people cannot live like this. Like we're going to start dealing with all type of stuff because, when you have a very large commercial property, you got the sanitation laws, you got all type of laws that you have to abide by at this point. Sewage is a big one. And to have sewage, which is feces backing up into people's houses, is very toxic. So the city was like, they took all of the people that was living there and they moved them to apartments. So now, mind you, I said anytime they put a dollar out, it ain't your normal dollar no more.
Yeah, for sure.
So they condemned that apartment, meaning everybody had to get out. Whenever they condemn it, you can't get power. The city controls who have power. You can't get water. They control that. So if you're on the condemned list, you can't get none of the living essentials you need to get that building back together until you get off that condemned list.
Wow. Okay. So you're saying in this particular situation with the 491 units, what's going on?
So right now, any investor who knows about this is jumping at the bit because of the opportunity, right? This is going to be a very large investment on the investor side. And I say large, it's not that large, right? It's going to cost about $40 million.
It's not that large?
So
if it's $40 million, how do you acquire it? How much you need?
So you need like 20% of that. So let's just say 7 million. Yeah, 7-8 million, right? Depending on the bank and what type of relationship you have, right?
Gotcha.
So, but anyway, so let's just say we put together me and of course some partners or whatever, right? We get together, we put up, the $7-8 million. Well, we already know that this property is going to be netting $2 to $3 million. So if you just do a quick rule of thumb, we'll have our initial investment back in 4 years.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. That's really fast. But still on top of that, every month, the goal is to get the government contracts back in place, kind of like what we have on our other investment. Imagine, 490 something vouchers, it's like heaven.
Goodness gracious. Okay. So there's 491 people get vouchers from the government to help with their rent. And that joint comes like clockwork.
Every single month. Yeah, it's there on the first. I mean,
so how will you be able to get this versus like what's the competition?
Right. So, well, one, you have to have like this particular training from HUD, which we have. You got to have their license, which we already have. You got to have a certain amount of experience, which we have. You got to have a certain amount of reserves in the bank, which we have. And so we're in a really great position right now to acquire it. It's just a matter of who they're going to award these buildings to.
You have relationships there, though.
I have some, great relationships, but so does other investors.
Yeah, true indeed.
You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
So, it's going to be interesting to see who get it. But at the end of the day, if we looking at $500,000 to $600,000 a month, and gross, and then we're netting a few million a year, your goal of $20,000 is going to be a nothing burger.
How much I got to put out? How much what I need?
I don't know yet. I haven't broke it up with investors yet.
Okay.
But this is the big boy table.
It is.
Yeah. You said you ain't doing nothing small this year. I just want to remind you of what you told me. You did say that, right? Okay.
Yeah. I think the government saw it too. And it was like, yo, nothing small, huh?
No, nothing small. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Oh my gosh.
I think if 8 of us come together and we put up $1 million, I put up $1 million, you put up $1 million, and a few other my great friends put up $1 million. It's easy.
So we put up $1 million, and it's going to spit off about $500,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say, for instance, 8 people put up $1 million to acquire this $40 million property. It takes a little while to obviously stabilize it, but what would that yield me monthly?
So let's just say, all right, so we're looking at net of probably, let's just say $200,000 net. Divide a month. Divide that by 8.
By 8. So it's what? Okay, anybody got so 200 divided by 8 is what? 25? Oh, that'd be my $25,000 a month.
That's why I said it's a nothing burger for you.
It's a nothing burger.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something. I mean, I don't know. Okay. That's lit.
It's very lit.
Every single month. Okay. All right, so let me take it down from...
But that's a low end, too. Like...
What do you mean? Oh, yeah. Just, it could be better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, we just like the little numbers first.
I like that.
Yeah.
So let me ask this question. Let's say, for instance, let's say you were starting today and you wanted to get into real estate investing. What would you do? Because it's something like some people are like, oh, well, $400, $500 a month isn't a lot, but to not do nothing and while it's acquiring like it's building equity, that's amazing.
I just can't get that mindset because I get excited when I make any money that I don't have to actively work for. I'm excited, whether it's $100 or $500 or $100,000. Like I get excited about passive income. So
I'm at my 3 properties. Okay, I want to say that deal that you put together. I don't even know how you did that, but I got 3 units, total $75,000. Right, it's about $75,000. You don't remember, but it was about $75,000. Yeah. And each unit pays, I think, between $550 and $650. So. Yeah, so I think I'm netting maybe like $1,200 a month, which is really, really cool.
You never been there. You never seen it. You never got no phone calls. You don't even know what they look like. You done been there already. You done passed it. I ain't even tell you that.
Did I really?
Yes,
I should have saw it while I was out there.
You should have.
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah. No, you was thinking about the big boy. You went to your 60.
We went to see the 60 unit. Dang, I should have saw at least my, okay. All right, so I'm starting today. I've got a job. What do I do?
To get started with real estate investing?
Start.
Well, you did ask me. You said for those who think 300 to whatever is not a lot of money, right? So I think the first thing to understand is that is good money. It may not be like, $10,000 passively, but in order to get to the 10,000, you have to start at that 300, so for me, I can say what I did, right? I didn't have a whole lot of money at first, so I used my tax return. Everybody about to get that in a few weeks, right? take that and invest it. What does that mean? Whatever you get back, let's say you get $10,000 back. That's a $50,000 real estate deal you can get involved in.
Hold on. If I get $10,000, I can get in a $50,000 real estate deal.
Right.
20%.
20% down. Yes. And so some people may be like, yo, that ain't nothing. Well, I mean, again, it's a start. So if you get a $50,000 property, it's not about just $50,000. Let's say the property is $25,000. And I'm talking, in, different markets is different strokes for different folks. But let's just say you find a property for $25,000. You have to fix it up and it's another $25,000. You into it for $50,000, but it's worth $100,000. So technically speaking, you took that $10,000 and now you have $100,000. Does that make sense? Because the equity that you created from fixing it up, although you all in for $50,000, is worth $100,000.
Got it.
So that $10,000 can go very far if you invest it. So you take that money, the equity from it, and then you go buy more real estate. But you started with $10,000. Let's say your tax return was like mine, $5,000. I worked with a wholesaler who sent me over properties and he wanted like $10,000 for it. I got him at $5,000. That's all I had. I gave him everything I had. And I bought it. It was a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, Huckleberry. You go on my page, you'll still see it. It still run me $550 a month. It can pay for itself over and over and over again, and I used a $3,000 real estate commission check, like literally. And people be like, yo, I got bills to pay. I had a lot of bills calling me at that time. I mean, I had like 10 payday loans. Me and my husband would go from one payday loan company to another, to another. And then by the time we finished, we ain't had no more money left. We done paid it all in fees. So my lights got shut off at that time. It was a lot of stuff that was going on in my life, but I knew that I needed to do something different because every year I get my income tax, I go pay off all my bills. And then I'm still in the same position. Yeah. I'm like, well, if I'm in the same position, what if I don't pay nobody? For sure. They still gonna call me. Right. It ain't like they about to do something different. You know what I'm saying? They still gonna blow me up. So let me just go try to bet on myself. And that's what we did. And by the grace of God for us, we were all in for $8,000. The bank appraised it at $60,000. They gave me $48,000. Well, $48,000 can buy $250,000 worth of real estate. And so I just kept on applying the same approach. I buy low, I buy with equity, I use that down payment, I go get another property, and I kept on building. Got you.
Okay. So let's say there's a house for $200,000. The rule of thumb is I'm going to need $40,000. But what if I find a deal, $200,000 deal, house $200,000, but it's worth $250,000. I still need the $40,000, but where would you go get it?
Well, I wouldn't buy it if it's only worth $250,000 because that don't fall within the 70% rule if it needs renovations or anything like that.
I forgot. But explain it. So
if I'm going to buy a property and let's just say all it's worth is $200,000, I don't have no equity. Right. If it's worth $250,000, I only have $50,000 worth of equity. But if I look at the 70% rule, let's say it's a $200,000 house. Do it need repairs?
Yeah.
Oh, how much you think?
Not a lot.
What, 10,000? 20?
Yeah, 20,000.
Okay, so let's just say all in I'm being for $220,000. What is 70% of $220,000? Y'all got y'all calculators out?
22 should be 66,000 or 134,000. 134,000.
220,000.
134
times 70%.
I'm almost positive. 134 and 154.
You was close. Man, that was so really impressive though. I need a calculator.
That was off.
All right, so 154,000, right? So if it's 154,000, that's the 70% rule. The 70% rule says that I have to buy it and I have to fix it up and I have to be all in at $154,000. So if you're telling me that it's worth, let's just say with 220 with repairs and everything, I'm already taking a risk that if one thing go wrong, I'm not going to cash flow I'm not going to have the equity and or the type of cash flow I'm looking for with this investment. So I would have to get this property at $154,000 to make it make sense.
Got it.
With repairs.
Yep. Okay.
That makes sense?
I got you. So let's say it's worth $220. You can get it. They're selling it for $154 or whatever, right? So you still need just round numbers. What is that? $45,000. No,
it still wouldn't be worth the deal because
$30,000.
But no, it still wouldn't be worth the deal. Go back because you said I get it at $154, but it's worth $220. But you told me I need $20,000 in repairs, so that $154 plus that $20 is going to put me over budget. That's going to put me at $174, which is over the 70% rule.
Okay, so you'd have to get that for $134 to put another $20 in, so that you're all in for 70%.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, scenario. It's worth $220. You need $20,000 worth of repairs. It costs $134, which means we need another $27,000. Where do I get that from? Where would you get that from?
Right now?
Right now, 27
out
grand.
my bank account.
Not right now.
Oh, well, what you mean?
If you were working at the Cheesecake Factory, I remember I had $1,000 in my account saved.
Yes.
Where would you go get this money?
Okay, so I think that's a really great question. I would say if you know 3 people that can split the $27,000, just go in like that. The way you get it with no money is finding an investor like myself who you found this opportunity. The numbers just make sense. $27,000 is a nothing burger for an investor to go in and make a 30% return. Like we're going to do that all day, every day. That makes sense. So you bring me something like that, I'm going to eat. I'm going to say, oh, that's a really great opportunity. I'll partner with you on it. Okay. And then your partnership is going to be, all right, you found the deal. You're going to PM the deal. You're going to project manage this deal. Like I don't want to have to be there for $27,000. I don't want to work too hard on this deal. So you're going to make sure all the subs showing up. You're going to make sure everything is in place and you're going to get us to the finish line. And then at the closing table, we're going to split everything 50-50. That's one way to do it.
So I want to come up with no bread.
You wouldn't come up with
I can do that now, huh?
Yes.
I can do that now? If I find a good deal and I want to put up no money?
Yes.
And I just,
Yes, absolutely.
I could do that.
Yes, you can do that.
I can do that. Okay.
And people can also bring us deals. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, do me a favor. Send a DM. If you're watching this episode and you got a deal, send us a DM. Okay. You can put us in a group DM or you can just hit Terrica or you can just hit me. But send us, if you have a situation, whether it's either your house or somebody in your family needs a, I don't know, you come across a deal, hit us up, right?
Yes.
Y'all know anybody?
Yes.
Anybody that's in a situation you need to just let me know. Okay, on the low. Maybe next time, All right, anyway. Look, I am really good at making money, but you know what I'm not good at? Making money that I don't have to make the money. I don't have to work for it, right? So I started making money, but my homegirl Terrica, she helped me realize that if I want to go make some more money, I got to go make some more money. But she started talking about real estate. My gosh. She did this property challenge, thepropertychallenge.com, where she was teaching me how I can do something one time and get paid for it over and over again. Since I met Terrica, okay, I am at a 6-figure yearly income passive. It's different. Yes, I make more money like actively, right? But I would rather take half of the income that I make active in a passive format because I ain't got to work for it. You buy a house one time and it keeps paying you over and over again. You ain't got to create no content. You ain't got to make no sales letters. You ain't got to shoot no emails. That's the money I want. So she's teaching all entrepreneurs how to take that money from your business, your brand, those sales that you're making, and put it into a vehicle that will pay you for the rest of your life. All right, so go listen. Go to thepropertychallenge.com. I will be in there. I go to every single one of them. Go to thepropertychallenge.com and register ASAP. It's time to build wealth. Let's get it. I want to get into a quick Q&A for some people who aren't necessarily in real estate like that, but desire to be, right? Try to get some real estate income. So who's first? Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so y'all said we want to do. Where would we find the deals?
Yeah, that's a great question. So there's many places you can find a deal, but I know wholesalers have platforms like PropStream. Write that down. Prop. Yeah, like PropStream. You can look in, newspapers. My daughter find deals on Facebook. I remember when Let Go was around, she found houses on Let Go. Like there's real estate all around that people are trying to sell. You just got to figure out what's a good deal and, run numbers and things like that. And I will also say get into some type of mentorship where you can understand how to run these numbers, how to look for the deals, how to analyze the deals, because you can find a deal and don't even know you have a deal and then just let it fall through your hands because you don't know the correct formulas and things like that. Word of mouth, people that's going through divorces always want to sell their primary residence. It's just so many ways you can find deals.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we got the property challenge coming up.
Yes.
thepropertychallenge.com.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
So the property challenge is so much fun because we're going to challenge you to get a property, right? So that's going to be 5 days of learning how to analyze deals, how we find deals, how we do JVs, how we do our LLC creation. Like, it's so much fun. And then, throughout that challenge, you're gonna be expected to do a certain amount of homework. You're gonna have to show up every single day. We're gonna be on a date, for the next 5 days. You know what I'm saying? You got to let everybody know you got to cancel all your appointments or whatever. But, it's 5 days of, learning, real estate. And it's not like no baby learning formulas. Like, I'm going to give you meat and potatoes. And then at the end, you're going to be like, yo, I want to rock with you on a deeper level. I want to sit with you at this table that David sit at and, Nehemiah and all these other people. Or you can just be like, yo, I done ate so good. I'm good. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's good.
Good. I love it. All right. Questions. Real estate related. Hear that, Mike? Who's next? Got it? Okay, cool. I think real estate is one of the most fascinating and solid forms of true wealth creation. And I'm starting to learn this. Go for it. What you got?
Years ago when I did look at investing, I hated looking for property. Going into smelly houses, run down. I just hated that part of it. So I don't know what you would suggest because that kind of stopped me there.
Right. So the funk of the house?
Just the looking in general, just driving around.
Is it you looking?
Yeah.
Right. So you can hire somebody, right? There's people in the profession like realtors, you know what I'm saying? There's wholesalers, investors who's trying to get off some investments. Like they can, you can get on their list and ask them to go take a look. Now, I can't say they're not going to stink. Like they probably going to be funky.
Well, it wasn't that. It was just driving around Saturday morning aimlessly.
Yeah. So you was trying to do wholesaling, right? If you driving around looking for properties.
Yes.
Yeah. So don't be the wholesaler, be the investor. Right? Let them send you deals and you go check them out, analyze them, see if the numbers make sense, and then go from there. I personally write this down. There's what they call bird dogs. And that's their only job is to look for property.
When I was in Florida, I think they made them illegal.
What, wholesaling?
No, bird dogs.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know why. It was something, I forgot some law came out and they, because I remember that you could get a bird dog, but then they start to make it illegal in that.
I don't know. I know a lot of investors and wholesalers in Florida.
So, okay.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I can't say they did or didn't. I just know a lot of people do it. So
okay, good.
I don't think that's illegal though. Like, I mean, you're selling a property. They can't tell you can't double sell a property.
I think it was something with the realtors.
Oh, well, yeah, if you have a license, like if you have a license or something, they're a lot more stricter. But at the end of the day, like if you have an LLC and you want to sell real estate, they can't tell you where you can put your money at. I mean, I had a conversation with my commission. Like, look, y'all cool and all, but y'all can have this piece of paper back if you think you're about to control me with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't that deep.
Yeah, good. Anybody else? Question?
She had a long question over there.
Okay, go for it. Come on over. Yep.
So my question is, the situation is I'm married. My husband's ex-wife, he's on the deed of the old house. So he's the primary. She's in the rears a couple months. She's catching up. There's $100,000 equity in that home. Once she gets caught up, by April, she has to do that. Otherwise, she has to have options whether she can sell it or she will have to move out. Can we acquire the home at that moment? I mean, we're trying to figure out what's the next step.
So the truth is she's an owner too. She's primary too, right?
Right.
All right, so they both primary.
Well, no, he's primary. She's secondary. He signed first on the line.
Right, but it's still
Okay,
owner. It's
right.
it's still they own it. He can't do nothing without her. She can't do nothing without him. Is how it goes, right? And so right now, it's not just her in arrears. He's in arrears too.
Yes.
Just so you know. And I would think that, why wouldn't they just sell the property? I always ask people that when whenever you're separated, you're going through a divorce, why not just sell the asset and get the money from it versus, falling behind, like you said, they're in arrears. It's messing up your credit. The worst hit you can get on your credit is a bankruptcy and also a foreclosure. Those are the two worst, and a pre-foreclosure proceeding on your credit. Like banks turn their nose up at you instantly. So I would think that they should be adults and sit down and have a conversation and try to get this property sold to get some equity out of it. And if they can't agree, then the bank is going to take it and they're going to get the equity, and they get nothing except bad credit for the next 7 to 10 years.
Thank you.
So her husband doesn't have to buy it because he's the owner still.
No, he don't have to buy it.
So you just gotta,
But if he do anything in that property, the ex-wife get 50% of it.
Got it.
So he's probably like, I ain't putting no money in that property. She living there, she getting all that. And she probably like, I don't know, maybe something happened with her work. I don't know why she behind or whatever, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, she's behind. It would benefit him to catch those payments up because he's going to be damaged just as much as her. But because they're probably not together, he like, I'm not paying that. I'm not living there.
Yeah, he's mine. Yeah.
She like, he mine.
Yeah, my man.
I presented that to him to say, what if we got her caught up? Mm-hmm. Oh, what if we got her caught up and then we sat down trying to have a rational conversation to say, hey, this is where we need to go with this because y'all both are going to lose out. Like, I want to win in this situation.
And that's going to hurt you.
Is she rational?
Yes. No. That's where I'm at.
Where's the property at?
Macon, Georgia.
Macon. Southside.
How far is that? I don't know what it's
It's about a couple hours from here.
Yeah.
But I mean,
How do you know you got $100,000 worth of equity?
He looked on his credit. He called the mortgage company. Told him he had $100,000 equity in there.
How they know that?
Yeah.
They did an appraisal?
You know what? That's what I don't know. He was on the phone. I don't know.
Do you know how much they paid or how much they owe?
How much she's behind? Yeah, 1,000.
No, how much they paid for the house, period.
I don't know. I didn't ask him.
Okay.
But that's where I am.
We'll find that out because if I can buy it for 70%.
Look, I'm saying they're going through,
And I guess these are the type of situations that an investor is looking for because for the investor, it's like, oh, it's a good deal, distress situation. For the person, right? So the options are limited for them as well. Like, I need to find somebody to buy this.
Yeah.
And maybe somebody that that has the cash to do it because, I mean, banks in this climate, it's not as easy to, not as easy, it's just more expensive for the money.
It's much
you got
more
less
expensive.
buyers.
Yes. But in that situation, one may not want to sell. And if one don't want to sell, they can't sell. They're going to have to go to the judge, and the judge is going to have to force a sell, and they ain't going to have the equity that they think they have because they're about to pay all that money out, to the court system.
That's crazy. Okay. Anybody else? Any questions for real estate? You got something? All right, go for it. We give the microphone.
What investment strategy have you used the most that's you're most successful with?
What investment strategy have I used the most as my most successful way? In regards to the industries, I would say flipping apartments. I would like the one that we're working on, although we're going to, put up, quite a few $1 million, by the time we sell this property, the market value where it's going to be will make millions, on the actual sale of the property when we do go to sell it. And so I like those larger flips more than, the $30,000, $40,000 flips. So I would say, apartment flipping is really good.
Good. Okay, anybody else? Okay, what you got?
What would you say is the best lender for entrepreneurs? Because I know we've gone through that process. That's the reason why we went through Divvy is because they're like, all right, well, you need this amount of taxes or tax paperwork. They
Investors
didn't want to.
don't get asked for tax paperwork. So that's when you go to a regular bank, right? But like most lenders that are lending to investors, they're usually gonna, look at your bank statements and see what type of money you have in your bank statements. There's all type of lenders out there. I don't want to recommend one public lending. Y'all come have my head, but I would say do your research. But tax returns is kind of like dinosaurs for now. When we do large investments like what me and David and some other people are about to do, well, yeah, we about to get millions and millions of dollars. But when you about to do like a $150,000 deal, you can go to a private lender and get that money a lot easier without having to give blood.
Okay, so what is that threshold? So you said 150. Would you say like 300,000 plus? You're like looking at?
No, there's no threshold. It's really according to the property itself, right? You said what's a good loan for entrepreneurs, right? If you're talking real estate, I just said a private money, hard money, not your traditional bank, because those lenders are going to want you to just have the down payment. They're going to want you to have an LLC, and they're going to want your credit score to be a certain number, right? 620 or higher usually. When you talking, like your primary residence, they're going to...
Even if we're looking to essentially have it rented out, like this is like our first investment property, we know this is not the forever home.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. So again, it's an investment. What you went through is your primary home. That's a different process. When you go through an investment, again, they're going to ask they want to see the down payment in your bank account. They're going to want to see your bank statements. They're going to want to see your company articles, stuff like that. They're not going to be like, send me your tax return. Yeah, that's different. Now, if you go to Chase Bank or Bank of America, they asking for all of that. You go to someone like Lima One, they're not asking for all that.
Okay.
So it just depends.
Thank you.
Yeah. Another one? Let's go.
You mentioned that the city has power. To what degree or how can investors partner with the city in order to move forward on real estate investment?
So I would say that, it's very important to be involved in your municipalities, no matter where you're stationed at. I have a great relationship with ours. And what we call it is adjudicated properties when they go through that process. The adjudication process is a very tedious process because you're not going to have clear title, and it can take you a year to 2 years to even close on a property. So a lot of investors are not that patient. Like for us, we were that patient because Madeline Cove was the adjudicated property that we worked with the city with. So we wanted that property. So we went through the process to get that property, which took us 1.5 years to get it.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Anybody else?
Reese, give me a question.
Mm-hmm. Well, she got the mic right there. So right after that.
Oh, okay.
That's the mic. Okay, go ahead. What you got? Closer. Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, Reese doing some little real estate things.
Yay!
You're doing real estate things, right? Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. What's your question, Reese? I put him on the spot.
Gotta figure out the mic. There you go. Is it working? No, there's 2 different setups for the mic. Okay. Hand him that mic if you don't mind. No, okay. Oh, it works. Okay. Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So I have a property in Vegas. I bought it like just before the Raiders came out, and it went up a lot. I think I paid $195, and I think it's like almost $280, something like that.
Okay, Reese.
Out here.
Okay, he in the streets.
But it's been rough. It's my first property I own, and I put a tenant in it, and things just didn't go well. That was too nice. So I went and got a management company, but I almost sold it because of that. How do you know when to sell it and if you should keep it?
Is it making you good money right now?
Now it is. Before it wasn't.
Okay, but now it is.
Correct.
You
But
make.
like I said, I was going to sell it because I was stressed out. I was out here. My property's in Vegas, and my tenant was giving me problems.
Right.
But once I got my management company,
Right.
everything was going good.
But you're making money off it?
Yeah.
And all right, so but you're making money.
Correct.
All right. So do you have to do anything for that money since you got a property management now?
No.
Okay, great. So you want to sell it?
No, I'm saying if I wouldn't have got the property management, how would I know if I
Sell it or not? Right. So that's a great question. A lot of people get real estate and then they just become an employee to the actual real estate. And that's why they have project managers. That's why they have property managers. You know, I think if David was super stressed about his investment in Louisiana, he'll be like, forget this $1,200. I'm out of here. Like, you get what I'm saying? And so I think it's important when you start investing in real estate, build your team completely. Like, don't just build it where it got to work around you. Don't build it where you get all the phone calls and all of the headaches. Like, unless you want to be the actual property manager, hire a property manager. You know, when you left, the first thing you should have did was transition that property over to a property manager. Now, let's talk about the sweetness of that deal, right? All that equity you have sitting over there that you can be using to buy more properties here in Atlanta and replacing your income. So the money you make here with David, you can start investing that money into more real estate. You just got money sitting in your bricks. You're not even doing anything with it, but that's your money. Like you just said, $200,000. I think that's like $1 million? Is that $1 million? 80%?
100,000, 500,000.
Yeah, $500,000 in real estate money. Like that's a lot of money. You can go do some stuff with.
There you go. So pull the money out.
Yes, pull the money out.
100,000. Put that 100,000 to work.
That's right. You don't even got to pull it all out. Just do something. You know, buy some income.
Yeah.
You're already making income on the property itself. So go make some more income where you don't have like the kind of income you have in Vegas.
Good. I love it. You got your question? You figured it out? All right, let's do it.
Say investment education do you recommend with prior experience?
ThePropertyChallenge.com.
Yes, that's it. I was about to say that, right? So you said you flipped some mobile homes and you flipped some houses, right? So how much income are you making passively right now?
None, because at that time I wasn't thinking that way when I was flipping those properties, and
Right.
I used that money to live off of.
Got you. Okay. So I would say absolutely join the challenge. And then, I would say, obviously, you want to get into the mentorship program so we can help you build out a portfolio where you can become passive. The good news is you already got experience with, the actual headache part of the business. So you'll be good. Yeah. You'll be real good.
Yeah. What you got?
Reese talked a little bit about the stressors of being a real estate investor.
Mm-hmm.
Can you speak on how you've personally been able to navigate your mental and emotional wellness as being a real estate investor?
Yeah, life is hard no matter what you do, right? I'm sure David has stress with podcasting. I'm sure you probably have stress at your job. I'm sure everybody got stress in whatever industry they're in. You just got to choose your stress. Like for me, I understand that I can't stay in the problem too long because I'll never get to a solution. So I'm going to think of a solution almost immediately. Like before I got here, I got a phone call from our property management saying, hey, one of the units had fire coming out of the dryer, right? So again, if I was to soak in that problem, then I wouldn't be able to get to the solution to say, okay, find out what type of detergent they use and there's some type of chemical reaction that then happened with whatever they done dried. The fire department came out and said the exact same thing that I said, right? There's some type of chemical in something that they put on their clothes that has caused this. You have to be a problem solver in this business and in any business that you start, because if you're not going to be a problem solver and you're just going to focus on the problem, you're not going to be very successful. So I handle stress. I say this, I don't allow things to stress me because I'll stay there. So when I get something that's like big, like what we just dealt with this morning, I'll handle it, deal with it, and then I don't think about it no more.
That's good. Anybody else? Questions?
cash right now. And what would you do right now for investment wise?
I just did it.
ThePropertyChallenge.com.
I just broke down a $10,000 board too.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
just a few minutes ago. Invest that. You know what I'm saying? Get started. And like I said, get mentorship. Like, you know what I'm saying? Join the challenge. You know, see how we break these deals down and analyze it, you know, because that's what we're talking about. You know, everybody ain't gonna have $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people like me, they started with $5,000 or they got a few $1,000s. You know what I'm saying? I asked my inner circle at the last meetup, David, in the Dominican. I said, I want everybody to stand up who have $1,000, right? We had 200 people stand up. Don't let that go over your head. There's power in rooms, right? So, you know, I said, how many of, stand up if you have experience, if you know how to build something, like you know how to do something in real estate, construction wise. All the contractors stood up. I said, do you have $20,000 in your bank account? They said, no. So I said, sit down. So I said, everybody got $20,000, stand up. Everybody stood up. I said, do you know how to do construction? They said, no. I said, okay, sit down. I said, contractors, stand up. I said, would you partner with someone and do a cost plus on a job that you have to be able to get into a real estate deal with someone? Plus? Cost plus mean they do it at their cost. They don't charge no profit on top. They said, absolutely. I said, everybody stand up if you're looking for a contractor that you want to partner with. You have the money, they have the expertise. And then they made deals happen. That's how powerful rooms can be.
ThePropertyChallenge.com.
Yes.
ThePropertyChallenge.com.
Yes.
All right. T.
Yes.
I'm excited about this challenge.
I'm very excited.
ThePropertyChallenge.com. This is the reason y'all see me promote her so much is because it's not that I'm thinking that she understands real estate. I literally have built out a portfolio with 100% access or 100% participation from Terrica and her mentorship, her putting it together. I still don't know a whole lot about real estate, but she's literally
chopped up some numbers.
I don't know a whole lot though. Still, I know, of course, being in the inner circle and around you, I learn it, I pick it up, but I'm still not an expert. I still don't know the Burr method, I don't know all the R's. It's bad R's that I enjoy. I know podcasting, right?
Yes, that's right.
But I truly am thankful because at least I'm thinking there's a couple levels, right? You do a job and you make some money, which is what most people do. There's another group of people who we don't trade time for dollars, but we still got to do some stuff to not have to trade the time for the dollars. So still essentially I'm trading time for dollars, or I'm trading my brand value for income. So every podcast we do, I have to actually do the podcast. I can't not do the podcast. It's not like I built a brand and I'll just make the money that I make forever if I just stopped. It doesn't work that way. Now, I am grateful because that's better than the first level of trading time for dollars, go to work, get a paycheck. But there's another level where like truly passive income, where you don't have to do all the stuff that you don't want to do or don't desire to do, whether it's social media, posting, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. Because when we started working together, she didn't have no big following like that. She wasn't like, now she's connecting with celebrities and all that kind of stuff. Because I'm active on social and I'm saying, hey, she's amazing, right? So she's able to, just how you just talked about it, like the contractors, people got money. I got some sort of social influence where I can like pass that to somebody who knows what they're talking about. And when they actually meet her, she gets them to stay. I can bring them, but it's her that gets them to stay and say, I want to do it. Now she did a deal with B. Simone a couple weeks ago. Darius Daniels got a couple dozen property with her, and all these different celebrities are now saying, okay, I need someone with expertise. But it started with her helping me first. And she understands it. And there's like multiple ways that she can explain it for slow people like me.
David's really smart. But also, I would say that was.
Have I ever asked you the same question like 3-4 different ways? And you had to answer it 3-4 different ways.
I mean, you asked me how many times, what day I was coming out here, like 10 times. I kept laughing. Yeah.
A little slow. You can help me. But now I see the vision. So
yeah. And that's the other thing. Like, you know, like you said, like I didn't have no social media. Like I really like, I'm learning all of this through David, right? Like, and to be honest, I don't desire to, you know, just be like an influencer or anything like that. But David said, if we can help people along the way, let's do that. And I think that that's what's important is that, you know, we're helping people, really, really helping them get investments, but not just get investments, understand investments. Like the people in our inner circle, watch on Friday when they pull up, ask them what the IRR is, ask them what the COC is, like ask them the ROI. Like, you know what I'm saying? We ain't just talking ROI. Everybody know that, right?
Yeah.
But when we start talking,
chop up a deal.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? When we start talking COCs and IRRs, that's when you know you're in a real estate program and you're understanding the real information that's being given to you.
I love it, man. Listen, do yourself a favor, join thepropertychallenge.com. This is an official stamp. Y'all ain't never seen me like really say, hey, whatever she's doing, do that, right? And it's a true cosign because I'm over 100 units of passive real estate. And I'm really, really thankful for it because if y'all ever cancel me, I'm still going to be good.
That's right.
So, all right, y'all, subscribe to the podcast, share this with somebody, go to thepropertychallenge.com. It starts ASAP, okay? If you're watching this and you go to the website, if the website is on a wait list, that means the challenge is coming up. But right now, you can go thepropertychallenge.com and get involved right now. All right?
Yes.
We out here.
We out.
Peace.
Y'all had good questions.